Hello, this is Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. I am coming on today to do a tutorial video. A while back you saw me make these journals. We didn't see me make the journals, but I showcased these journals. I've made a couple for friends. This particular one I made for Martha Hamilton and sent it to her. And this is a second one for another friend, and I haven't finished it yet. But I wanted to remind you what the journal looks like. So it's got 3 signatures inside, and I've kind of done my own thing. It's not a junk journal because I don't put the junk stuff in it. So this is what it looks like inside, and I want to show you how I made this. I apologize for the noise in the background. We have a new dog and he likes to make noise. That was him shaking his collar. So let me show you how I made this. I'm going to make it today using Graphic 45. And the collection I'm using I'm using this paper pad. It is called Kaleidoscope. I love African animals. I love purple and jewel tones in general, and this has all of those in it. And I'm also using this companion paper pad that is just backgrounds. I'm using these 3. I don't care for this black one, but so this goes with that. It's patterns and solids. And then I will be using the chipboard pieces. Sorry, that was upside down. The chipboard pieces that go with it, as well as the stickers. So I'm excited to see this when it's done because this is my favorite Graphic 45 collection and I just love it. So this video, I'm going to show you how I made the cover. And then in the next video, I will show you how I did the insides. So here we go. To make the cover, I need 2 pieces of black cardstock that are 8.5 by 11. And I need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 9 by 6 1/4. The book is 9 by 6 1/4 by 1 5/8. So then I need a chipboard that is 9 by 1 5/8. Sorry, I should do that so you can see it. 9 by 6 1/4. And I need a piece of chipboard that's 7.5 by 1 1/2, but I don't think I'll get to that while making the cover part. I need colored cardstock. These are 8 3/4 by 6. This is for layering up the cover. I need 2 of these. And this is Gorgeous Grape. And then I need one that's 8 3/4 by 1 1/2. And then designer paper, I chose this beautiful elephant print for the cover. I have 2 that are 8.5 by 5 3/4. And I have one that's 8.5 by 1 1/4. And then I have this ribbon. This is Stampin' Up! Sheer Gorgeous Grape ribbon. And the length is up to you. I wrap it around the book and just make sure my tails are long enough to tie. So this one is, well, let's see how long this one is. I didn't measure it, I just put it with that book, with the other one. So there's 1, 2, this is about 36 inches, this piece of ribbon. So let me show you how I'm going to put this together. The first thing that I need to do is join these 2 pieces of cardstock. And I've already lost something. Sometimes, oh, here it is. I was looking for my double-sided tape. So I'm going to put this along this edge. Actually, I'm going to put it along the same edge on both pieces of cardstock. And then I'm going to burnish it. And where's my little doodad? I'll take off the backing on both. And then what I'm going to do is line them up so they overlap just a little bit. It's about 1/2 inch. And burnish that. And then I'm going to take my chipboard and lay it out. It should fit pretty much perfect. I always like to put my seam in the middle and make sure that it doesn't overlap and get too close to an edge. So it's going to be here and here. And I'm going to use my reptile glue. I use a generous amount of glue. I like my book base to be black whenever possible because black hides a lot of things. And it also goes with this graphic 45 paper. So I'm going to put this here. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit crooked because you won't be able to tell once it's all put together. And then I will line this one up. This chipboard, I have never had to buy this kind of chipboard. I bought some black for some of the boxes that I make, but all the chipboard I use comes out of Stampin' Up! Packaging. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a lot of years, and a lot of their different kinds of designer papers have either have this or something heavier in the back of the paper to protect it in shipping. And I would call this a lightweight chipboard, and it doesn't need to be very heavy, but you can really use any thickness for this. And if you don't have access to chipboard, you could stack up 4 or 5 pieces of cardstock, glue them together, and use them for your chipboard, and you would get the same results. You can, of course, purchase chipboard. They sell it on Amazon. That's where I got the black that I bought. But like I said, I don't actually need chipboard, so I think I have a lifetime supply. That other noise in the background is my husband. He does that weird cough thing every now and then. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this over and just kind of make sure my glue is stuck down everywhere. You can do the whole thing with double-sided tape, but I love how liquid glue bonds paper to paper. Double-sided tape can come apart, and liquid glue rarely comes apart because of the way it bonds paper to paper. So I'm putting my double-sided tape on all 4 sides of this. This tape is, as you can tell, it's from scrapbook.com. You could use Terran tape from Stampin' Up! You could use score tape. I'm sure there are other companies that make the same tape. Scrapbook.com had a really good deal on it a while back, where if you bought something, I can't remember, I got something free for buying quite a bit of this, and I use a lot of it because I love to make books and boxes. You can tell that by watching my channel how much I love to make books and boxes. I'm done with this for the moment, so I want to cap my glue, and I should have filled it before I started. I don't know if it's going to make it. The next thing I want to do is kind of prep my edges. I don't want my cardstock to crack, so, oops, sorry. I want to very gently start prepping my edges, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to just keep pushing to get it to go where I want it to go. You guys have seen me make books before, but I wanted to do this one beginning to end. I'm sorry about my camera. My little stand is a U shape around here, and it's really easy for me to bump it. This is Stampin' Up's black cardstock, but I also have made these using the lighter weight black cardstock that I got at Joann's. I was going to use that today because this is pretty heavy cardstock, but I can't find it, so I really need to finish my clean and purge project. I have a lot of things that I can't find right now. So I've done that, and now I want to clip my corners. And when I cut off the corners, this is so it'll fold nicely, I'm going to leave just about 1/8 of an inch right there, because I don't want my chipboard to show on the corners of my book. think I'm going to go ahead and put tape on the edges too, because these are pretty white edges, because this is going to just be right here. And I'll do this on these sides too. It'll be even more secure once the insides are in the book, but this will give it 2 places that it's adhered. And you could make your wrap a little narrower. I try to keep it about 1 inch because I like that for being able to layer on the inside. So doing this, I like to start on the long edges, and I start on the one that's away from me because it works easiest for me. So I'm going to take that off. This tool that I'm using, it goes with my Cricut. I like the hook. I have a paper piercer that I used to do that with, but I really like the hook, and I like that it doesn't roll. It's an oval shape and it doesn't roll. So I have that down, and then I'm going to burnish all of this. And I'll do the other side. Put this down. The hardest part is where it's doubled right there in the middle. Turn this around and burnish all of this. And then on the ends you can see there's a little overlap there, and I am going to push that down in there, and that's going to help it to fold nicely to cover the end of my chipboard. So I'll take this one first. And I'll flip it and do this side. And burnish this. There, that looks really nice. The next thing I'm going to do, this is kind of close to the camera, but I like to take my bone folder along the edges and kind of flatten them out. And I'm going to have to do the, I'll do the folding first. To make this fold in the center, I'm going to stick my bone folder in there, and it pushes this cardstock down that's on top and gets it to fold. And then I'm going to do this along this edge. Do the same thing on this one. And do this on this edge. And there is the cover. I'm going to do the outside of the cover next. The first thing I'm going to do is put on my ribbon. So I want to measure the center. And this is 9, so I'm going to measure 4.5 just with a pencil, and you're not going to be able to see it, so it doesn't matter because we're going to cover it up. But this gives me an idea where to put my tape. I'm just going to rip off a piece of tape and put it there. And do the same thing on the other side. And find the end. And I'm not going to do it on the middle. So I'll take this off of here. I'm going to find the middle of my ribbon. And then I'm going to put the middle back here and lay this down. I'm going to flip this over, take off this, make sure this is not twisted, and it's not, and I'll pull it out here so I can see where I want it to stick out. So they're both in the same spot there. It's a little bit off there, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. The next thing I'm going to do is take my purple pieces and adhere them This can be done with liquid glue, or it can be done with tear and tape or double-sided tape. This on here. And the nice thing about this glue, even though it's white glue, it dries clear. So there's that part. I'll take my, this is 8 3/4 by 1.5, and I'll add it to the spine. Just using my thumbnail to smooth down the edge of the cardstock. And then I'll take my last piece. And I'll put this on this side. Okay, now I need to determine what is my front and back before I put on the designer paper. I think it doesn't matter. This looks good on both sides. So I'm going to, this is the paper that I'm using, and I don't like the white on the cover with the black and the purple. I don't like to see this white core. I don't know if you can see that. So I've sponged the edges of these pieces. I have this one piece left to finish, and it's just adding a touch of color to the edges so that you can't see the white core anymore. I've already done all the rest of it. It's really simple. Just any kind of a sponge. You can use a sponge dauber. This is a round sponge that I've cut into 6 pieces. And I'll put this on the front. I love this paper. This is just so pretty. And cutting it seemed to rough up the edge a little bit, even though I cut it from the top, so this will smoothen it down. And here we go. And then I'll put this one on. There's the back. And then here is my last piece. Help if I put it on right side up. I think I'm going to do this in 3 videos. 2 or 3. Because I'm only doing this part in this video. The next video I'm going to show you how I do the insides. And I might do a whole separate video for decorating. We'll see how long the next video takes for me to determine that. Close my glue. So here is my cover. I think this is beautiful. Just beautiful. This is my favorite print of Graphic 45's paper ever, because it's got all my favorite colors and it's got the elephants. I love the jewel tones and I love the elephants, and the prints in the elephants is fun too. So this is the cover, and in the next video I will show you how I make the insides so that it will look similar to this. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.